QuickTime player. Gotta get that set up. Hello everybody, what is up? Today we are going to be in a different type of studio, and that is my editing studio. So we are here because I want to go over with you everything that you need to get started with alcohol inks. So we're gonna basically take a whole virtual shopping tour, and you're gonna be exploring the types of inks that you can buy, the type of paper that you can buy starting off, as well as the percentages of alcohol and everything that you need to get started with alcohol ink without breaking the bank, because the last thing you want is to get started and realize, I don't like alcohol ink. So let's get started. So the very first website that you want to check out is Michaels. The first thing we want to look for is inks. The great thing about Michaels is that they have packs of inks. So if you're unsure of what colors to start for, they kind of give you little packs to, for indecisive people, or, people like me that want every damn color. A few brands that Michaels sells. The first one are Ranger, Tim Holtz alcohol inks, which are pretty cool. I personally like Jacquard inks. I like them because they're very, very pigmented, and they're very bright and potent. I find that with Ranger inks, they do have a wide selection of colors, which Jacquard does not have, but they feel a bit lighter. I guess it's the way you work with them, or what kind of, colors you want to work with, what you want to achieve. I'm gonna type in Pinata here, and you're gonna see that they have a pack that you can get started with. Okay, so this pack comes with 9 assorted colors. That's really great. They look small, but honestly, these inks last you so long. You have a variety of colors there. It shows you the colors that it comes with. So you have the Sunbright Yellow, the Orange, Magenta, Passion Purple, Baja Blue, Green, Blanco, the Black, and the Rich Gold. So what I like about this pack is that it includes one metallic for you. And the thing that I love doing with metallics is giving my pieces accents. I think that it adds just a whole nother level of interest to your work. You don't have to, but this is actually what I was gonna suggest anyways, is that you pick up a metallic when you are starting off with alcohol inks. If you don't want to go with super bright, super bold colors, you wanna kind of get started with your own colors, or you have an idea, just explore. You can look at the different packs that Michaels has here. So they come in packs of 3 for the Tim Holtz, and they kind of give you little color combos. Okay, so if you're like, oh, you know what, I really like working with cool colors, I really like working with purples, you might want to go with something like this. Get a little 3-in-1 of something that's similar. Personally, if you're starting off, again, I would go with that Pinata pack that they have if I'm looking at Michaels, just purely because there's so many different colors, so you can experiment and see what you like. I think that's super important as a beginner. You want to just hand pick your colors, and you're like, I've done my research, I know what I want, blah, blah, blah. Then go to Desserts. I think it might be just Canadian. I'm not sure, you're gonna have to look into that. Mine is in French, so she's like, je cherche, alors je cherche des encres. Let's just go to English. I'm sorry for doing that to you. They have the jumbo bottles. I wouldn't recommend this if you don't know what colors you like, or you don't know. Don't get the jumbo bottles. They're $15. Yes, you do save money in terms of you're buying wholesale, you're buying bigger, but if, again, as you're starting out, I would just scroll all the way down, and I'd either, again, look into investing in the pack and maybe see if the color combos are different from what Michaels offers. Gold, Mantilla, Black again, Green, Baja Blue. No, it's not different. They call it a starter pack, I guess, because, variety of colors again. I agree with that. Start with the pack. Just be a starter and start like a starter, But again, if you want to go in and choose your own personal colors, there they are. You can just go through the colors, make your selection. You have 27 colors available. You're like, I want reds. Click on the red, and then it'll show you the different shades it has. Click on the blue, and it's like, oh, you want sapphire, you want Baja, you want a little bit of teal. I personally love the teal, and I personally love, love, love sapphire blue. So I think we're good on inks right now. Another website that you can check out, or another shop in general, is Curry's, and I think that's Canadian as well. I may be a mistake. But I think if you're not Canadian, I think Michaels, just as a general store, is your best bet. Now we are going to move on to paper. What paper do I get? What kind of thickness do I get? A Yupo, what's a Yupo? Blah, blah, blah. We're gonna dive a little bit into paper, the different kinds of paper that are out there, where you can access them. Synthetic paper for alcohol inks can be expensive. So let's have a look at where I get my paper, and I'm really hoping that this helps you out. So the store that we all know and love, where we get our things the day that we order them, Amazon. I want to talk a little bit about paper before I end up doing a little search here. I think as a beginner, you want to get a synthetic paper that is non-staining. So a paper that is really common and really popular and really just heard about when you're talking about alcohol ink in general is Yupo paper. Now, Yupo paper is a staining paper, okay? So that means if you're getting your alcohol inks on and there's a part that you want to wipe off, and I've talked about in this video, you're just not going to be able to fully wipe your inks off the paper. It absorbs some of your inks and you're going to get a stain. Your paper stains. And I think for advanced artists, they can use that technique to their advantage, or, you know, honestly, you might make a mistake and it ends up looking good and you want to keep it. But the thing is that when you're starting out and you're experimenting and honestly, you might screw up completely. I don't know. I don't think staining paper is one that you want to go for. On top of that, Yupo is extremely expensive. Like, let's have a look here. So this is Canadian, so I think it might be a little bit cheaper in American dollars, but we have $23.28 before tax for 9x12 paper, 10 sheets. 10 sheets of paper. 10 sheets of paper for basically after tax maybe like $25, $26. Nah, I don't want to do that. The two alternatives that I personally would explore is craft plastic. Okay, so craft plastic comes in bundles like this, like Yupo paper, but it is non-staining and it's awesome. And it's also on Amazon, so we're gonna have a look at that. Okay, so I think it's this one, Graphics Craft Plastic 12x12. Yes, this is the one. 12x12, a 25 package, opaque white. The difference is the size. So if you want to work with your 9x12, like your classic rectangular form, like that's cool. I love square. I work on square panels. Things that are square, I don't know, they just satisfy this, like, they just satisfy this thing that's like, you know, perfect sides and measurements, whatever. But 25 sheets for $38, that's like, I don't know, that's like $1.50 maybe, like maybe a little bit less for the sheet as opposed to Yupo, that's $2. And it might not sound like that big of a difference, but trust me, when you're working in volume and you just want to practice and you want to throw your sheets around like this, it's gonna add up, right? I think this is even better because when you consider the fact that it is non-staining, you don't like a project, you don't have to start on a new piece of paper. You can simply just wipe it off. So it's so amazing if you want to literally just keep 2-3 sheets aside and then just work on them as like your little alcohol ink journal experimental type thing, okay? It's like you can work on it, you can take a photo of your progress, wipe it off, and then just do something completely different, and then you're not even wasting sheets, you're like recycling. The last thing I want to look at is NARA paper. I love NARA paper. I'm like advocate for NARA paper because they come in rolls. Not all of them. 10 sheets per pack, $21. Okay, it's getting a little close to Yupo price, and I really think that's because they're popping off. Like NARA is becoming this whole known paper in the alcohol ink art community, but it's so great because it's, again, non-staining. It's so amazing. It's like the craft plastic. I love it. But because the craft plastic is a little bit cheaper for the 12x12s, I buy the craft plastic sheets for those set sizes. But when I have larger commissions or I just want to work on custom sizing, I go to NARA paper roll. Here you can explore all their different price points and you can explore the width of the roll that you're gonna choose. So I believe that they come in 5-meter rolls. Yes, so one roll, 40 or 48 inch in width, right? So that's gonna be the width of your paper, and then the roll is gonna be 5 meters worth of synthetic paper, and I think that's just amazing. It lasts me quite a long time. I was basically talking about the thickness of the paper and whatever. I just choose the 275. I don't really need super heavyweight paper, and I go for the 40-meter roll, which is going to be $75, and that is an American. And then on top of that, they mail you a little thing where you have to pay duties. So if you're able to find this roll on Amazon, I'd recommend it, so that, you know, those prices are kind of factored in and it's a little bit easier for you. Like you might be able to get it off Prime, or you might not have to like pay duties aside and just have that hassle. I can't seem to find the 40, and I always used to be able to find it on Amazon. So I suggest you look. Maybe in your region it's a little bit different, but worst case, you can go to the actual NARA website and you're really not paying a difference in price. Like if anything, you're saving $10 if you go on Amazon, maybe. So to sum up the whole paper thing, the top two I would recommend are craft plastic and NARA. I'd really recommend these two. I would just stay away from Yupo as a beginner. I'm out of breath, I'm gonna get water. I feel like I've been freaking talking forever, but I really hope you guys are learning something right now. Oh, I see marble cake in the fridge and I really want it. I need a stretch. Okay, enough of the little break. Let's get back to it. The next thing that we're gonna be exploring is how to move around your ink. So a lot of people use their breath. You can. I wouldn't. I used to do this in the beginning. One, you should be wearing a respirator when you're working with alcohol inks, especially if you're not in a well-ventilated area. That's really important because all the fumes from the alcohol, you're gonna get a headache and you might get like a little hot. The other thing is you get so lightheaded if you're working on one project and you're just like you're gonna pass out. So I highly recommend investing in either an airbrush or a heat gun. I have both and I'm gonna show you which ones I have. I can only advocate for the ones I have. So let's get into that. Okay, so we are back on Amazon here and I'm just gonna look up airbrush. Okay, this is what I did when I first started exploring my options, and you're really gonna have to look at what works for you and what is in your price point. I wouldn't get anything fancy. You literally need to blow around air. Bottom line, the same airbrush that I used since day one, and I'm happy with it and I'm fine with it. It was around 70 or 80 bucks, and yeah, it was kind of like around this price maybe, this portable airbrush kit. You're not putting any ink on the top thingy, like here, up there, okay? You're not putting anything in it, so really you just need that air pressure to blow around your air. And this, again, I think is for smaller projects or fine detailing, because when you're working with bigger stuff, you're not really worried about an airbrush, at least not for blowing around the big chunks of ink, maybe like the little detailing on the ends if you're trying to clean something up, right? So this is something that you can look into if you are on a budget. You don't even really need this. Like, I'm honestly gonna be just straight up with you. You do not need an airbrush. It's if you want one. So I would look into something like this. Get your, yeah, explore, but like, honestly, for the most part, I feel like they all do the same thing, more or less. Okay, you maybe wanna look at the pressure or the battery life if that's something that you are considering. But I would get obviously one that is portable, and the one that I have is similar to this, where it has a little charging port, USB type thing. Put it on the wall, charge it overnight, blah, blah, blah. The cool thing about that is also if it dies on you halfway, just plug it in while you're working. If you're close enough to an outlet, it's gonna work as well. So don't worry too much about that. The next thing that we are gonna look at is heat guns. I use a hairbrush, a hot hair airbrush, like literally, Revlon hairbrush. I forgot to mention it, and then I worked out, and now I'm sweaty, but I have to tell you, everything that I have listed is in the description below, so you can click on those links and go directly to those sites and purchase the products. That's it. This is the exact thing that I bought. Currently unavailable. I don't know, it might be the region, whatever, not to worry. If you can find something similar, that's great. But the thing that I wanna look at here is that this is the part that you're gonna be using. The hairbrush brush part, if you see the little locky thing, it comes off. So that's awesome. So you just use the body and you blow your heat around. I've used it for this big project. This looks like a microphone. She looks like she's doing karaoke. But I guess it's showing you relatively like how big it is, right? I'd say it's like about that. Yeah, like the cord's long enough, but I always use an extension if I'm working on bigger projects anyways. 3 heat speed settings, including a cold set. This for me is really important because if I'm not always trying to blow hot air on my inks, because that's just gonna dry up the inks faster, you wanna make sure that you have different settings. So I advocate for this brush because one, I think I bought it for like $30 or something. I don't know, like it really was not that expensive. I would strongly recommend this, or at least look into a heat gun that's gonna offer you different settings to be able to move around your inks and give you that flexibility. Because I had this one heat gun. I don't even know what the hell I bought it for, to be honest. I can't remember. Now I just use it to peel the tape off of my canvases at the back when it doesn't come off. This is the one I ordered. Buy it again? No, I would not. The cord is super short. It's so freaking annoying. And then it just blows like massively hot air out. Like if you put your hand there, you're gonna burn yourself. Like it's freaking hot. Like it's hot. It will melt your face off. Don't use this for alcohol ink. Don't. Please, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Alcohol. Okay, we're gonna go over where to find alcohol. I think that in the pandemic, alcohol is just sold out everywhere or is ridiculously priced up. But I am gonna take you through one hack where you can get alcohol for a reasonable price, and I want everybody to know this. So I hope I can find some right now, because then it'd be like, yeah, it's a consistent source and you can find it. But the truth is, I don't know if it's gonna be on there all the time. But guys, Facebook Marketplace. I'm literally like, my head, I thrift shop and I'm on Facebook Marketplace all the time, man. Facebook Marketplace has so much stuff. This is my Facebook. We're gonna go straight to Marketplace and we're gonna look up isopropyl alcohol, because that is what you need. You need isopropyl alcohol to get started with alcohol inks. Now, percentage. The higher the percentage, the faster that your inks are gonna dry, because there's less water, and then the alcohol evaporates faster when you're heating it up. I personally use 99% alcohol. I can't advocate for 70, I can't advocate for 91, but it is commonly said amongst other alcoholic artists that you probably wanna be working with 90 and up. You don't want water, you're working with alcohol inks. The ink has an alcohol base and it's more alcohol-based ink, you know? So I would personally go for 91 to 99%. $19 per gallon, like, that's great. That's like really good. If you look on Amazon, I don't know how much it would be, but let's just type in. Oh, there you go. Thank you. 4 liters is a gallon. So where you can find it $20 on Marketplace, Amazon is giving it to you for $35, 1.5 times the price. Figure it out for yourself. If you have Prime, if it's like not worth it for you to drive somewhere, it's just whatever's convenient for you. But I would start off with this, and I would say, you know what? Facebook Marketplace is my go-to, and it's awesome. By the way, if you're liking this video, please do not forget to subscribe to stay updated with upcoming content, and please give this video a like. And if there are specific things that you want me to cover, questions that you have, I'd really love to hear it. Leave that down in the comments below, or you can send me a message at Instagram at _DMPaints. And let's continue with the rest of the materials. Alcohol ink. Varnish, okay? If you want to seal your alcohol ink pieces, KYRLON varnish. So this is to seal your project so that your inks don't move around at all. And then you need a UV spray, because alcohol inks are dye-based. They will fade. They'll fade, and especially under sunlight. That is why you need UV protectant. It is very, very, very important. Places that you can look at for this, again, are... Respirators has both, guys. So again, if you're in Canada, they have the UV resistant. This is the one, the specific one that you're looking for, okay? Varnish spray, anti-UV. And then you want the KYRLON varnish that I just looked at. So this is the one as well. So both by KYRLON, that's what the bottle's gonna look like. I've also got the KYRLON varnish spray at Rona. No, was it Lowe's? You can even just go to KYRLON.ca, and then it shows you the things that they have here. So they have, if I look up UV spray, UV resistant clear coating, there it is. And it's gonna even tell you where to buy, okay? Where you're located. It was Lowe's. That just blew my mind. I was right, I wasn't going crazy. But it's gonna tell you where you're able to find these products in your area, so that is amazing. Use these tools. Google. I went through everything I think I possibly could in terms of a beginner, and I want to see if we're able to start off with a starter pack. Where is that gonna get our price to? Let's have a look. We're looking at $30 average for a heat gun, $17 for craft plastic. So this is the starter pack of 4. So I'm gonna be linking that also in the description below. $18 for 3 inks. I'd recommend a metallic again and 2 different colors to start out. $20 if you're looking for isopropyl alcohol on Facebook Marketplace, and $25 for both of the KYRLON varnish sprays that you need, which leaves us to a grand total of $110. So again, you can get less inks, you can get more inks, tailor it to your budget, what you need. But this is kind of around the price that you're looking at. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it has honestly informed you in what you need to get in terms of starting off with alcohol ink. And I'm really thirsty now. Peace out.